celebrate the life of the ANC. Let's enjoy ourselves. But when we live here, we go on the ground full time. Rialamukela comrades in Gauteng, all of you from all over the country. Amandla! Viva ANC, viva! Pata ANC, pata! Pata ANC, pata! Balega DA, balega! Balega DA, balega! Balega EFF, balega! Balega EFF, balega! Thank you very much, comrades. Let's make sure that we win the elections this year decisively. Victory is certain. Amandla!
Thank you very much, comrades. Amandla! Amandla! Comrade Paul, thank you very much for greeting us. Comrade Paul articulated very clear that the 40% will be achieved through the leadership of the ANC. So we are going to make sure that the youth league of the ANC is always on the ground so that it can achieve its 40%. We'll now welcome Comrade Rechi to come and acknowledge guests. Comrade Rechi.
Amandla, Amandla, eita mutomusha eita, eita makabani eita. Comrades, my role is very simple: to come and introduce the guests that are in our midst here. Let's acknowledge the presence of Comrade Nathi Mthethwa, who's a former leader of the ANC Youth League and currently the national leader of the ANC. Let's acknowledge the presence of Comrade Paul Mashatile, who is the provincial chair of the ANC in Gauteng. Let's acknowledge the presence of the NEC of the Women's League, Comrade Nozipho Makeke. Let's acknowledge the leadership of the African National Congress Youth League amidst the NEC collectively. Let's acknowledge the General Secretary of the Young Communist League, Comrade Mluleki Dlangani. Let's acknowledge the President of COSAS in our midst, Comrade Zama Kanyisu. Let's acknowledge SAS co-leadership in our presence, NEC members Tembiso, and let's acknowledge the PYA in general. Let's also acknowledge the presence of our priest who has graced our occasion and opened for us with prayer, Comrade in April. Amandla!
Comrades, we are now going to allow messages of support from our PYA structures. Long live SASCO, COSAS, YCL, long live! Long live COSAS, SASCO, YCL, the PYA, long live. Amandla. Amandla. Gawe 2. Comrades, they will allow COSAS, the president of COSAS, 2 minutes each. Comrade.
Amanda! Awethu! Viva Youth League, ANC Youth League, viva! Viva YCL, YCL, viva! Viva SASCO, SASCO, viva! Viva COSAS, 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 viva! The ANC has declared this year as the year of the people's power. Statistics tell us that young people are leading in terms of numbers. With that being said, it then tells us that 40% of youth representation everywhere is then what must happen. When we are saying 40% is what must happen, we mean everywhere, including in education, where principals must be young people, including even in SABC, where station commanders must be young people, including in local municipalities, where mayors must be young people. That is what we're saying as the Progressive Youth Alliance. In institutions of higher learning, we have young professors, we have young doctors. We must see them leading there in councils so that they are able to discuss and take decisions that are going to be in favor of young people who need assistance. Everywhere young people must lead so that they can speak our language because we are in majority. Amanda! Forward with prioritization of education, forward! Away with fees must fall, many organizations away. Away with equal education, away. The Progressive Youth Alliance structures are the only representatives of young people, and we are not going to accept any copies. Amanda!
Comrades, let's welcome SASCO. Immediately after SASCO, will allow the YCL to come.
Amandla! Amandla! Long live the ANC, long live! Long live the Youth League, long live! Long live Ufasimba, long live! Long live COSAS, long live! Long live SASCO, 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 long live! Comrades and compatriots, ours as the South African Student Congress is very simple. Is that South Africa, across the country, in all institutions of higher learning, it's a no-go area for sporadic movements. We have defeated all of them last year, and we shall continue to defeat them. We are saying we are going to retain all our metros. SASCO will be working hand in glove with the African National Congress, bumper to bumper, tis matters, person to person. ANC is going to lead this country. We are furthermore going to intensify the Western Cape. We are going to retain the Western Cape from the racist Helen Zille. Those who are calling us monkeys, we are saying we are coming to them slowly but surely. South Africa is not a place for racist. Institutions of higher learning shall not be a place for racist, comrades. Comrades, ours is very simple.
We will support the leadership of the ANC. Furthermore, we are fully behind the resolution of the ANC Youth League. 40% Wale Mbasha. We are not apologetic, comrades. The youth must swell the ranks of the ANC. It is our time. We must be able to take over the ANC. The ANC represent us. We represent the ANC. We identify ourselves with the ANC, comrades. We are saying, as we go to FET colleges, SRC elections, we want to assure the ANC that this SRC elections of local government is going to be a litmus test, which is going to prove to be 100% correct, that we are going to win all FET colleges. We are going to retain those that we have lost. Comrades, we shall prosper. The ANC shall prevail. Free education in our lifetime is going to be recognized under the leadership of the ANC. Comrades, we have resolved that the South African Student Congress that access must rise. We must guard our campuses against those who want to use our parents to fight the struggle of insourcing. The struggle of insourcing is the struggle of the South African Student Congress through the Student Worker Alliance, and we have achieved a lot through that relationship, comrades. We must never be there, comrades, be compromised by people who are high in Nyaupe, who are wearing red beret. The ANC is black, green, and gold, and we want to color our campuses. Thank you very much. Mandla!
Viva ANC, viva! Viva PYA, viva! Phansi nge-EFF, phansi! Phansi nge-DA, phansi! Winner, ANC, winner! Thank you very much, comrades. Comrade President of the ANC Youth League, Comrade Kgalemela, leaders of the Progressive Youth Alliance, please receive greetings from the Young Communist League. We are here today to support our Labi Ali, ANC Youth League. We are here to say we will cross this country with you to mobilize the young people of this country to vote for ANC. Because ANC is the only organization that can deliver to the needs of working class in our country. We say that we must strengthen our unity as the Progressive Youth Alliance. And we must encourage all young people to go to register to vote. And when they vote, they must vote wisely. They must vote for the ANC. Our task as PYA now is to mobilize the youth of our country, all young people in all corners, to go and vote for ANC. We are saying as Young Communist League, we must stop fighting among ourselves. The enemy is not among ourselves. The enemy is DA. The enemy is the EFF. Let's go out to crash the EFF. Let's go out to crash DA. Let's go out and mobilize the youth of our country to say ANC leads, ANC leaves. Amandla! Thank you very much.
Comrades, thank you very much. Messages of support from our PYA structures. We are now going to allow the ANC Women's League to come and also present the message of support. ANC Women's League.
Amandla! Amandla! Viva African National Congress Youth League, viva! Roar, young lions, roar! The president of the ANC Youth League, Comrade Kgalemela, Secretary General, Comrade Njabulo Nzuza, and the entire National Executive Committee of the ANC Youth League, the ANC Chairperson of Gauteng Province,
or before that, the NEC member, Comrade Natim Tetwa, I was going to be... the ANC provincial chairperson, Comrade Mashatile, the leadership of the SACP, COSATU, SANCO, YCA, PYL, COSAS, SASCO, and all other Progressive Youth Alliance, comrades and compatriots, distinguished guests, receive revolutionary greetings on behalf of the ANC Women's League National under the leadership of President Batabile Dlamini. Let me also begin by welcoming all young people that are here from all over the country for the Kgalemela Lenyatso rally as we go to the local elections here in 2016. The ANC Youth League, as it has been indicated by all speakers, that it should close spaces. Let me, from the ANC Women's League, also share that sentiment. We're saying we support this initiative. We say we Kgalemela Lenyatso to our President Jacob Zuma. Hands off, hands off to our president. We didn't ask the opposition to come to us to decide or to tell us what to do about our president. The president of the ANC, President Zuma, is our president. Let me also share with you that as a Women's League, we say the emancipation of the youth, economic emancipation, we support it. And fortnight ago, the ANC Women's League launched the Youth League. What's happening? They launched the ANC Youth League, the ANC Young Women Desk. I'm being disturbed. You know, when people are singing, we don't even know what's going on. But let me finish off by saying that we support this call, and we're saying that go back to the learning institutions. When we register to vote in March, you must lead that campaign. The ANC Youth League, you must take charge. Make sure that those youths, those learners, they register to vote the African National Congress. Let me... Okay. Young women in the ANC Youth League must be active in the ANC Women's League. Amandla, Aluta, Matla, all power. Thank you, Comrade Direct.
Comrades, can we have one revolutionary song, comrades? Yeah, as we sing one revolutionary song, that corner there on my far right, your matter is attended to now. Your matter is attended there, comrades. Ne? Yeah, comrades, as we sing that revolutionary song, we'll allow those comrades there far right They will be assisted to come inside the pitch or the stadium. Amandla! Amandla! Amandla!
Well, there you were watching the live picture.
ANC Youth League, ANC Youth League, ayihlale phansi ibambe umthetho, ayihlale phansi ibambe umthetho. No, comrades, let's proceed with our program. We want to apologize for the inconvenience of sound. There is a problem of sound system, but that matter will be sorted now. We request that all those comrades there to sit down as we welcome Comrade Nathi Mthethwa, a member of the National Executive Committee of the ANC, to come and address us. As we sing, comrades, let's welcome Comrade Nathi Mthethwa to come and address us.
Amandla, Amandla, Amandla. Viva ANC, viva! Viva African National Congress, viva! Bua komanisi, bua! Qina msebenzi, qina! Malibongwe! Malibongwe! Igama lamakhosikazi wathinta abafazi. Roar, young lions, roar! Roar, young lions, roar! Jigijela lufasimba, jigijela! Jigijela lufasimba, jigijela! Bafundise Kosas, bafundise. Bafundise Kosas, bafundise. Kukuzela Sasko, kukuzela. Kukuzela Sasko, kukuzela. Bahlalise Sanko, bahlalise. Mayihlome MKMVA, mayihlome. Comrade leadership of the ANC Youth League, led by President Comrade Colin Maine, the leadership of the ANC in Gauteng, led by Chairperson Comrade Paul Mashatile, leadership of the PYA, and comrades all. On behalf of the NEC of the ANC, we greet you, comrades, and say, Kgalemela, Lenyatso, Kgalemela. On this, the very important year, the year of the local government elections, where comrades in Gauteng, led by Comrade Paul Mashatile, have declared that Gauteng is going to win each and every municipality. We are committing ourselves that we are going to be with the Youth League throughout this journey. We want to thank the African National Congress Youth League, the young lions of our movement, for showing the way that this country we fought so hard for can never be ruled by racists like Sparrow and others. The Youth League has mobilized our people to take it to the street and demonstrate the power of the young lions. They have asked questions, where is the Youth League? The Youth League is there. The Youth League is here. The Youth League is alive. We must know, comrades, that the leadership of the ANC is sending a message and invoking the message by the late former General Secretary of the Communist Party and the leader of the ANC, Comrade Malome Kotane, who said, and this applies to you here today, at this hour of destiny, your country and your people need you. South Africa is in your hands, and it will be what you make of it. The two main tasks the ANC is giving you today, comrades, is that you must go all out and ensure that young people register to vote. Because for the ANC to win, all young people must register. The first weekend of the 5th and 6th of March, we're calling on all of you to show the world that the Youth League is not dead, that the PYA is alive, that the future of this country belongs to the ANC because you are alive. You are the members of the Youth League and you are alive. Secondly, we are saying to you, comrades, it is time that we defend our victory. We defend our democracy. We defend the African National Congress. Defend it from those who want to kill the future of yourselves. Defend it from those who are using drugs to kill the future of our youth. Say to them, down with drugs, down. Down with Nyawupe, down. Down with Nyawupe, down. We are going to have a bright future as the ANC Youth League because the future belongs to you. The future is yours. This country is yours. This country can never be outsourced to racists. We must reject them. We must mobilize against them. We are not going to allow erstwhile racists to teach us and lecture us about racism. F.W. de Klerk is nothing but a racist himself. His release of Mandela was not out of his good heart. It was out of the mass mobilization by the African National Congress and liberated this country. He was forced to take a decision in 1990. Otherwise, he is committed to his racist past. He is the last person to lecture us about democracy and non-racialism. We are going to build this country and will build a non-racial South Africa. After we have registered comrades, we must go all out in our numbers and vote for the African National Congress. Those who are dreaming and saying they are going to take the seat of power from the African National Congress, they must dream along. But you must mobilize on the ground. You must ensure the ANC win a landslide victory. Tswane belongs to the African National Congress and nobody else. The ANC is 104 years today. The ANC, ayenu mafigizolo, who have been around. We are going to show those who think that they are going to undermine our democracy. They are going to contest us in our own backyard. We'll show them that they are not going to make it. Our comrades from SASCO and the PYA must ensure that as we celebrate and commemorate the heroes of 1976, their struggle, we claim this year as the year of the youth. The youth must lead. The youth must live amongst our people. We must ensure that as we move forward to ensure the ANC victory, those of us who are studying youth must study hard, but also must deepen consciousness. The political consciousness, comrades, today is so much needed when you have many people, some parties who think that they can challenge us. One thing which has distinguished the African National Congress from any other Mickey Mouse party is that within our ranks we have tried and tested cadres. We have trained cadres. We have cadres with deep political consciousness. Cadres who are going to ensure that as they study, as they come out of the institutions of higher learning, their education, yes, their leadership is leadership with content. Our task, therefore, comrades, is not to abandon the twin task of the ANC Youth League. We need to mobilize and organize all young people and represent their aspirations across the color line. We need to mobilize all of them behind the banner of the African National Congress. And these, comrades, is our twin task. As we move closer to our elections, in our place of work, in our place of study, the Youth League must be the best. If you, comrades, are not the best in the Youth League in whatever we do, at least we must be amongst the best. We must follow what our forebears said to us. Nelson Mandela, Walter Sisulu, Mzwakele Mbete, who said we must continue to maintain our high moral and ethical stamina. We must ensure that we are where our people are. In the townships, the ANC must win these elections. All the townships, in the villages, in the informal settlements, the ANC must win because you will be representing the African National Congress. It is our duty, comrades, to fight the scourge of HIV and AIDS. It is our duty to remind all those who have forgotten about this glorious movement of young people that the Youth League is leading all the struggles. You must lead the campaign this year to claim your space and your place to be young revolutionaries of our movement. We must do this, comrades, as we remember our leaders. We must be courageous, like the last president of the ANC Youth League, before the banning of the liberation movement, Patrick Mosedi Molawa. Let us represent them and let us win the elections. Viva ANC Youth League, viva! Viva ANC, viva! The future is youthful, comrades. The future is revolutionary. Amandla! Amandla! Matla! Matla! Matimba! All power! Thank you.
And those are the live pictures coming to you from Soshanguve outside Pretoria. That's where the African National Congress Youth League is holding its national rally under the theme Kgalemela, Lenyatso. And we're just waiting for the main address, which is that which will be coming from the ANC Youth League leader, Colin Maine. But just before that, we had the NEC member who was just addressing the crowds there, and the main issue that he was touching on the registration of votes, and this coming particularly just weeks before the announcement of the actual date for the local government elections that will be held later this year. So we will remain there in Soshanguve, Pretoria, where the African National Congress, the Youth League, is holding its national rally.
Well, right now we have the ANC bikers who always come out during this time of the year when it's elections time, as well as big ANC rallies, and the crowd here cheering them on. I can tell you right now that everybody has their phones out as they take a glimpse of this moment currently happening here at the Soshanguve Giant Stadium. Well, quite a scene here at the Giant Stadium in Soshanguve as the ANC bikers are on the pitch currently and being cheered on by the ANC Youth League members and supporters out here in their numbers. Well, later on we expect Kgalemela, the president of the ANC Youth League, to deliver the keynote address, and some of the issues that he will be touching on is the 40% representation that the Youth League wants at all local government government institutions, as well as councils as well. They indicated earlier on that this is the start. They want to move all the way up to national government, where they want a 40% representation. Also emphasis on education, free education, and as you can see some of the banners around here, hashtag economic emancipation, hashtag economic equality, and those are some of the resolutions taken by the ANC Youth League during their conference last year, and they want to make sure that this time around it does happen. Well, they have declared the year 2016 as the year of the youth. You remember that back in 1976 when there was the youth uprising in the Soweto uprising. This year marks the 40th anniversary of that moment when the youth in Soweto rose up and they said they're standing against Afrikaans. They do not want to be taught in Afrikaans, and this year is the year of the youth. And earlier on, as I indicated, that the president has set up the commission that will look into the viability of free education, and it will be a great announcement if that commission comes back and says that yes, it is possible to have free education. We remember all the students came out in their numbers protesting and marching, hashtag fees must fall, and the president made sure that he set up that commission. And right now, earlier on we were listening while there were the messages of support, and every time free education was mentioned, the crowd here cheered on. So that's definitely one of the things that the ANC Youth League wants to see happen this year.
Amandla! Amandla! Are you ready for President Maine? Are you ready for President Maine? Are you ready for Big Nas? Are you ready for Big Nas? Are you ready for Tira? Aye, ANC Youth League, aye. ANC Youth League, aye. Siyabangena, ANC Youth League, siyabangena. Siyabangena, ANC Youth League, siyabangena. Viva President Maine, viva! Viva Colin Maine, the president of the ANC Youth League, viva! Long live ANC Youth League, long live! Amandla! Amandla! Comrades, thank you very much. That was a salute in welcoming President Maine. We are now going to allow President Maine to come on stage so that he addressed all of us. Can we therefore, all of us, give President Maine one serious revolutionary song so that the President can come and address us? Immediately after President Maine, the big nerves will be on stage.
Amandla! Amandla! Rise, Msholozi, rise! Rise, Jacob Zuma, rise! Amandla! All power! Viva ANC Youth League, ANC Youth League, viva! Viva the Progressive Youth Alliance, viva! Rise, Msholozi, rise! Away with EFF, away! Run, DA, run! Amandla! Uzoyithola kanjani? Economic freedom in our lifetime. Thank you very much, comrades. No, thank you very much. Thank you very much, comrades. Thank you very much, comrades. Thank you very much, comrades. Let me, on the onset, say, comrades, that because of time, today, as the Youth League of the ANC, we are here to say, what do we represent? Secondly, comrades, we are here to declare war. War against racists, war against those people who undermine the ANC leadership, and in particular, President Zuma, and who know who those people are. Comrades, war is fine, it's fine, it's fine. Deputy President, Comrade Desmond Mwela, the Secretary General, Comrade Njabulo Nzuza, and the Treasurer General, Comrade Reggie, the National Executive Committee member of the ANC, Comrade Natim Chetwa, the Provincial Chairperson, Comrade Paul Mashatile of the ANC in Gauteng, members of the National Executive Committee of the Youth League, Provincial Chair of Gauteng, Comrade Matoma, and the PEC Collective, Regional Executive Committees here present, and our structure as the Branch Executive Committee, and the leadership of the Progressive Youth Alliance. Dear comrades and friends, please receive revolutionary greetings from the National Executive Committee of the ANC Youth League. Let us thank all of you here today. We have left all the important things you should be doing at home to come and lend the ANC Youth League of Mkolisi Majombosi, Stanza Popape, Congress Mbata, Anton Limbete,
Walter Sisulu. No, they're just saying. Nelson Mandela, Oliver Tambo, Peter Mokaba, Paxman Katlan, and many other giants of the South African Revolution. And here in accord, our Kgalemela Lenyatso rally, the dignity it deserves. Thank you very much, comrades, friends, and supporters of the ANC. Comrades, can you please stop singing? We want to declare here today, in front of you, comrades, and the millions who are watching us from across the length and breadth of our country, that the Youth League is alive. It leads and it lives. We want to express sincerest gratitude to those who have tirelessly worked to ensure that our branches and structures avail themselves for this rally. Those who quickly wrote the obituary of the Youth League have today been fed with a humble pie. The Youth League, as Comrade Nati has said, is alive and it is back. We thank you, comrades, members of the Youth League, who continue to defend the organization, the leadership of the ANC all over the country. The purpose of this gathering today, the first of its kind in recent history, and the start of many to come, is for us to interact directly with our structures and give you the views of the National Executive Committee and reinforce our branches, regions, and provinces and the movement as a whole. Before we get into the task of our movement, the Youth League NEC wishes to clarify a few political issues that have shaped themselves as a discourse in this country. From the onset, we wish to clarify that the Youth League has always been vocal on the dominance of monopoly capital in shaping the discourse of this country, particularly on politicians and political discourse. To us, the continued dominance of white monopoly capital on our economy remains a strategic threat to our revolution. White monopoly capital has continued its stranglehold on our economy, and black people remains poor and destitute. Jobs are not created, and as a result, unemployment and poverty persist. White monopoly capital also decides what gets printed in media and what gets shown on television. Where this does not happen, they do it all it takes to seek to destroy those who, in the interest of our country, tells the good story on our media. In particular, AN7 and the New Age newspaper, due to the fact that this media house is pro the people, it is being subjected to serious insults in the media. The target is not the New Age or ANN7 or its owners, but the ANC and its president, Comrade President Jacob Zuma. White monopoly capital has found new friends and strange bedfellows, led by an expelled woodworker. Comrades, white monopoly capital has found new friends and strange bedfellows led by an expelled woodworker. An organization was formed under the guise of challenging white monopoly capital. But today, the EFF of racist and white monopoly capital, if they are not defending racists in court, they're insulting the AN7 and the New Age with deeply xenophobic undertones and threats of violence. We want to state it categorically here today that the Youth League fully supports President Zuma, the ANC and the country. We want to state here today that anyone who wants Zuma must fall will fall themselves. We want to state it here today that those who seek to disrupt the state of the nation must prepare themselves for a civil war. We want to assure the country that the Youth League will attend the State of the Nation address to defend the nation and the revolution. We wish to inform the Speaker of Parliament, Comrade Balek, not to organize security on that day. The Youth League will physically remove the woodworkers from Parliament and will process them accordingly outside the premises of Parliament. We are ready for them. The same woodworkers who with extreme xenophobia threaten to chase people from this country, they forget to tell us about white monopoly capital, their new friends, that they still own more than 50% or 90% of our country's economy. As we sit here today, the paid top 20 directors of the JSE listed companies, whom are white males, earn an average of 59 million per annum each, whilst the average earnings of a black employee in the country is 34,000 per annum. The 20 top paid directors in JSE listed companies earn 1,728 times the average income of black South African workers. We are not told these things by the new spokespeople of white monopoly capital. They are not telling us that John Rupert and Oppenheimer, just the two individuals, have 50% of our economy. We are no longer told this. In the top 10 richest South Africans, we don't have a family called the Guptas, not even in the top 50. How can we be told that South Africa is colonized by a family that is not even in the top 70? We must be careful of being defocused. The same people led the so-called Economic Freedom March and made threats to ABSA and Barclays. A week later, they were wined and dined in UK. A week later, after being fed by monopoly capital, insulted President Mandela and our revolution, they forgot that they must shut down ABSA. The Youth League will never make threats to ABSA. We implemented it. We closed our accounts for messing with our currency. We did not go to UK to apologize for our acts. Comrades, we make no apologies when we say the genuine demands for free quality education has been hijacked by foreign-funded anti-democratic forces who are hell-bent on removing a democratically elected government of the ANC. And we must clarify that we support the call of the students, but we can't allow counter-revolutionary forces to hijack that particular call. If all the advances made since the Feast Must Fall movement, these forces are adamant that anarchy must continue in our institutions and has even gone as far as threatening to disrupt local government elections. It does not require rocket scientists to determine that the agenda of these forces is beyond free education, but a broader regime change political agenda. And the Youth League would not allow this thing. And we would want to applaud President Zuma for having appointed a commission that will report to him before the end of the year about implementation of free education for the poor, included in that is the children of the middle class, because they all too can't afford education. And free education remains an agenda of the Youth League, the PYA, as led by SASCO in institutions of higher learning, and no one else. We call on the ANC government to speedily implement free education within this term of office. As I said, we reiterate the welcoming of the commission set up by Msholozi, but we are growing impatient as the youth of the ANC. We want free education, and we want it today. While we do so, we call on NSFAS beneficiaries not to be swayed by a new movement, but to go to class and liberate their families from poverty. We are calling on students to refuse to be co-opted into disrupting learning, refuse to destroy universities, because this will take our country backwards. And we know that counter-revolutionary forces want to use this as a launching pad for the election campaign. We declare here today that the Youth League declares Comrade Natim Teta a campaign called Save the Cities and Metros campaign. In this campaign, we wish to ensure the ANC leadership that no metro will be lost to the DA and the EFF alliance. We want to declare here today in front of the nation that the metros of this country are not available for the taking. Joburg, the city of Tshwane, Ekurhuleni, Buffalo City, Nelson Mandela Bay, and all other big municipalities like Tlokwe in the northwest will remain in the hands of the ANC. The Youth League will make sure of that. In fact, our focus is on reclaiming the city of Cape Town. The Youth League will send its volunteers to Cape Town to take on the racist DA out of power. City of Cape Town belongs to the ANC, and the Youth League will get it back to the ANC. We call on you, comrades, gathered here today at home, to vote the ANC. Let us remind our people that it is the ANC that has improved the lives of the black people in this country. It is the ANC that has ensured that we have water, houses, electricity, tarred roads, and beautiful townships and villages. Therefore, our metros must remain safe. We call on all volunteers, which we are going to launch in Free State on the 27th, the Peter Okaba volunteers, to defend these metros, because by doing that, we'll be defending the revolution. We can't allow South Africa to be sold to UK. Those who went to UK and got bribes, we must prove them wrong come the election date, which will be declared by the President of the ANC and the country. On the 5th and the 6th of March, let us go out and register to vote. We call on the first-time voters to register in their numbers. We must demonstrate that the ANC will win these elections and will win them decisively. Comrades, our generation must deeply appreciate that we live in a drastically changing world. The world we live in not only changing, but it's also changeable, sometimes for the better and most of the time for the worst. The world we find ourselves in today is as a result of conscious human interventions and struggles of contending class forces in search for a political and socio-economic system that better suits them, the ruling class in South Africa. The DA is a constant battle to consolidate their power and control over the means of production, whilst we, the exploited, marginalized, and downtrodden, are relentlessly struggling to transform the world into a better place for the majority of our people, the poor. The struggle for economic freedom must be intensified. The ANC government must stop lip services. We demand radical socio-economic transformation now, and we want to see it in action. We have spoken a lot in the past 22 years. Our people, and young people in particular, are growing impatient with the government of the day. So we need to move with speed, and we are confident that the president of the ANC and the country, President Zuma, will heed the call of the young people in our country. As we have said when we started, we declare war on anarchists, those who are marching on the 9th, on the so-called Pay Back Our Money March. They must first go through all of us here and those who could not make it, because we'll be there to defend the revolution. And those who are marching to the union buildings on the 11th of this month, saying that Zuma must fall, they must know that we will come in our numbers to defend the president of the state and the president of the ANC. And what will happen there? We don't know what will happen, because we will do everything in our power to defend the revolution. Generations that came before us have done their part. It is now our time as the current generation to defend the revolution with everything we have. And we are declaring war. And we are saying, Comrade Deputy President, that economic freedom or
Well, those there are the live pictures coming straight from Soshanguve outside Pretoria. That is where the ANC Youth League is currently holding its national rally. And we apologize that we have lost our audio coming from the venue, but we will try to reconnect with our technicians there. But just to take you through, we have just been listening to the speech by the ANC Youth League President Kgalemela. He has been speaking to the thousands of Youth League members. Let's go back straight to Soshanguve. We seem to have the audio back.
Problems and contributing in us facing the challenges that we must deal with here in Gauteng and all over the country. So we know that the leadership under you, Comrade Paul, will rise to the occasion and make sure that people's will, as the president of the ANC has said during the January 8th, that we must respect Intando Yabatho. We must know that we are prosecuting a revolution. Now, in a revolution, comrades, it's not like a show called All You Need Is Love. We don't need to be loved. We need to make sure that we prosecute the revolution so that we realize the National Democratic Society. And we must know that Madiba and Oliver Tambo is watching all of us. And they are saying this Youth League and this ANC must make sure that they fight and represent everything that those who formed the ANC stood for. Because if we don't do that, comrades, we will be selling our revolution. President Jacob Zuma remains the president of the ANC until 2017, and he will remain the president of the country until 2019. So we call on those who don't want him to live with the fact that he will lead the ANC until 2017. President Zuma is not falling on the 11th, but rather the president will be delivering a State of the Nation address. Those who want him to fall, as you have said, they will fall first, and the Youth League of the ANC will make sure that they fall. We cannot allow a situation, comrades, where wood makers go to London and sell our country for 10 million. We are not that cheap. South Africa is not cheap. South Africa belongs to all who live in it. That is the Freedom Charter of 1955. And the ANC has not deviated from the implementation of the Freedom Charter. The ANC of Jacob Zuma, like the ANC of Oliver Tambo, will deliver all of us to the promised land. Comrades, let us not bore you with a long speech. The chairperson of the ANC Youth League in Tshwane said that this is an inauguration of the president and the NEC, but we are happy that we have proven to all and sundry that the Youth League is alive. And those of us in the media, don't go out there and say people did not want the president to speak. People are happy that the ANC is back. And those who were singing earlier on the far right, they wanted T-shirts and they'll be given T-shirts. So it's not a sign that leadership is not welcome, but report what we report. We know and we are confident that the Youth League is alive and will go to all the villages to deliver victory to the ANC. But the ANC that we want is the ANC that respects the people more than the markets. Our people don't eat the markets. So the ANC must always be afraid or fearful of the masses of our people, not the markets, because the markets are controlled from somewhere in London, and our voters are not in London, but rather they are here with us in South Africa. So this is a call that we are making to our ANC, and we know that they would listen. We will continue to intensify the battle against ANCYL for as long as we believe that they are busy manipulating our currency. And we welcome the decision of the Competition Commission to investigate that ANCYL and many others, what they are doing to the rand is not okay. But comrades, as we conclude, we call on all of you to go back to your provinces, to your regions and branches, and make sure that the ANC lives and make sure that the ANC is alive, because all of us seated here, we are the future and nobody can stop us. With those few words, comrades, the official speech will be on the website of the Youth League, will be on Facebook and all of that, so that what you see and give you information and statistics of the issues we have raised in the past 2 months, particularly as it relates to the economy of our country. As you conclude as well, comrades, people are beginning to suggest that the National Executive Committee of the Youth League is divided. Now, this media that is controlled by monopoly capital, the city press, have written today that the president of the Youth League and the Secretary General are fighting. We want to tell members of the Youth League that there is no such a thing. There is no fight between the SG and the president of the Youth League, and the National Executive Committee of the Youth League is united and will finish its term of office united, because we must serve all our branches. And we thank you very much, comrades. We are the future. We are the future. We are the future. Rise, Zuma, rise. Rise, Zuma, rise. Comrades, on the 11th, let's go to Cape Town and defend Parliament. We don't want any security. We will do it ourselves. Let's go to Union Building and defend the revolution, because counter-revolution has begun to show its ugly head together with racism. So we are going to those two important national key points to defend not only Zuma, but the revolution and the country. And Julius Malema must know from today we are declaring war. If needs be, we declare civil war. If people want to attack the revolution and the president, Julius Malema has no place in South Africa. His politics are politics that are sponsored in UK. South Africa belongs to all who live in it. Nobody is leaving the country. Nobody is leaving the country. The Youth League will make sure. And nobody must march again to Union Building to want Zuma to fall. If you do that, we declare war. We say that there shall be blood. If you fight with Zuma, you are fighting with the Youth League and South Africans who has voted with him for him, and the ANC with more than 60%. Whether there is blood or not, but the country must be defended. Those who came before us have done that. Why should we fail? Comrades, at this hour, our country needs us. We cannot allow Julius Malema and his monkeys to run our country amok and turn this country into a banana republic. The ANC is a democratic movement, the movement of the people. The EFF is a tuck shop of Julius Malema. And Julius Malema must know that we know that he's a vampire. Now the difference between him and the real vampire is that the vampire sucks blood from us. For him, he likes money. So we can't sell South Africa to UK. Thank you very much. Amandla! 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 Viva President Zuma, viva! Viva Zuma, viva! Omshalazi, viva!
Well, that was the live broadcast there of the ANC Youth League National Rally that was being held in Soshanguve outside Pretoria. And just finishing at the podium is the ANC Youth League President, Colin Maine. And just to take us through what is happening now, let's cross back. We will try to reconnect with our reporter there at the rally. But until we do that, let's take a short break, and PM News will continue in a short while at the top of the hour at 1500 hours Central African time.
SABC News. We report, contextualize and present news and current affairs honestly, fairly and fully. We consider it a duty to provide consistent, relevant, useful and top-quality information and analysis. Our mission is to provide credible, accurate and interesting news programming, bringing news into everyone's homes in everyone's languages. Thank you, South Africa, for relying on SABC News for quality news output and for making us your #1 source of information. SABC News, Africa's news leader.
Born with malformation of the limbs, David lives his life